Praise be Jesus and Mary. We celebrate one of the most important events in the history of the church, the conversion of the great apostle, St. Paul. The grace of conversion, the very first grace we receive, we cannot merit by ourselves. It is a gratuitous gift from the Lord Himself. And this is something we clearly see in the conversion story of St. Paul. In the Acts of the Apostles, the conversion story of St. Paul is recounted 3 times. And when you read it, it says that Saul, still breathing threats and murder against the disciple of the Lord, on the road to Damascus, encounters the risen Lord, and he is transformed forever. It's an absolute gift. St. Paul was still breathing threats and murder against the disciple of the Lord. But the divine initiative, God, our Lord, the risen Lord, encounters him and completely changes his entire existence. The grace of conversion is a gratuitous gift. Benedict XVI once wrote that being a Christian is not the result of a lofty idea or an ethical choice. No, it is the encounter with the divine person, our Lord, an event, his cross and resurrection, which gives our entire lives a new horizon and a decisive direction. That decisive moment when St. Paul encounters the risen Lord is something he would go back to often. He would recount that decisive moment in his defense of himself against the Jews and the Romans. And if you read his letters, several letters, he alludes to that decisive moment, especially in his letter to the Galatians. It is very important that we return often to our own Damascus. Remember, the grace of conversion is a gratuitous gift. And at the same time, it is very personal. We need to often, in prayer, remember our own Damascus, the way our Lord drew us to himself. And the beauty of conversion stories is the fact that they are always unique. They are always personal. Our Lord's ways are infinite. Remember that person he placed in your life, the things that moved your heart to conversion. This is a gift. This is very personal. And hence, we need to always, in our prayer, go back to our own Damascus. Why? Because if our Lord led us through his divine providence to himself with the grace of conversion, if he did that in the past, then he is guiding us in the present and will guide us in the future as well. Our Lord is faithful. If the grace of conversion is something that we cannot merit on our own, we can and should pray for the conversion of others. St. Thomas of Aquinas says that God chooses both the effect and the cause of the effect. So God can move a soul to conversion, the effect, using a cause that he chooses. So he can convert, he can move the heart of the most hardened sinner, a criminal on death row, the effect, by using the sincere bedtime prayers of a 6-year-old, the cause of the effect. You see, if we cannot merit our own, the first grace of conversion, we can pray for others. That's also a great mystery, isn't it? Who prayed for us? Who did God use? Which prayers did God use to apply in our lives for our own conversion? This is one of the great surprises that we will have in heaven, God willing. We enter. We will see that exact person that God used to move us to conversion. St. Therese says that one of the great joys of little souls is that they will see in heaven how God used their prayers, nobodies on earth, to convert the great souls that God rose on this earth. St. John Paul II was probably received the grace of conversion through some small soul, unknown. What a beautiful mystery. So this is something that we will see, God willing, in heaven. So in this feast of the conversion of St. Paul, let us remember our own Damascus. Let us remember that grace and that first gift. And let us be faithful to our Lord. Because if we can't merit the first grace, we also cannot merit the last grace of final perseverance. But our Lord expects us to be faithful in the middle. And if we dispose ourselves well, He will be faithful to us until the end.
Miserere